let's talk a bit about like dive into the difference between a data-backed token and an NFT.
Yeah, so I'd say at the core, they're the same, right? So an NFT is a non-fungible token, and the primary goal of it is that it represents some unique thing. There's only one of them that exists. And so they've primarily been used to date for static assets like art or music, to say, this is my record, my authentication of this thing that I own. Really what we're doing is that just, I'd say, at a more complex level. And so it's to say, we're taking that idea and now saying, in addition to owning your art, you'll now have a token that represents a more complex piece of data. That data could be your genome. We just did this genomic NFT with a customer of ours. It could be a representative of we're working with a music company. It could be representative of how many Spotify listens you've had as a musician. But the idea is that it's a token where the value is really tied to some data behind it.
Okay.
And so that's the primary distinction.
Gotcha. So it is a non-fungible token. It's just that it has data as opposed to a static asset.
Exactly. Okay. Yeah. And I think the other cool thing is, when you think about, I think a lot of people have been talking about like creator coins, and that's sort of a variation of an NFT. One of the challenges I think with those now and NFTs is the value feels very hypey, right? Like it's simply tied to how much excitement there is around a particular thing on a given day. And so there's some amount of data associated with that, of course. How much was it auctioned for? But that is very volatile. And so our goal is to actually be able to tie these tokens to some true sense of value. So I'll explain this music example a little bit more. So we're working with this company, and basically what they do is they invest, it's called Music Fund, and they invest in working artists. So if you're a musician and you need cash right now, they'll invest in you, give you upfront cash for a percentage of your royalties over the next few years. And so right now this is all done off chain. But what they'd like to do is actually have this set up so that you use our system and they make some investment, and your music and your listenings and your royalties are actually held in a token. And so that value of that token actually goes up the more Spotify listens you have. So as your royalties increase, this token actually increases as well. And then you could sell that token, for example, to your listeners, to fans, etc. And they then can participate in the work that you're doing. It can be a way that they can invest in you as an artist and as a person. And so that's one example of how I think how this could play in a more like creator oriented ways.